we can't yell from across the street, "Are you a furry?"
It's true. I mean, people have tried that, and I'll just reiterate for the lovely viewers that someone did yell this question to me across the street, and it was dark outside,
shame.
and I was less mask presenting than I am now, but have worn a tail for the last 5 years and have worn testosterone for only 3. So, but this person was like, "Are you a furry?" And I was like, "What do you like doing in bed?" And which was, I thought, was a fantastic comeback. It perhaps wasn't, because then he wanted to answer and also continue the conversation. Luckily, I'm really good at walking fast, so I booked it.
Yes.
As one does.
Right.
Perhaps, if they don't feel like they should stay and continue that conversation. Which
Usually.
I did not. Yeah, I did not want to stay. So I left. And I'm always trying to come up with different things to say to that question because it pops up a lot.
I'm sure.
People are fascinating, especially up close. More especially when you get them talking about the things that they love. This is From the Hip, conversations in the service of passion, purpose, and play. I'm Adrianne Gunn. You ready to play? Today on From the Hip, I get to giggling and geeking out with my friend Zed Jones, performer, activist, and community educator. There are literal sparks that get to flying in here. I guess, but from devices, you could, I think you can see it. You totally hear it. I had a good time. I hope you enjoy it.
Hi. Hey. That's our clap. Should I do it too?
Rutabaga.
Rutabaga is the safe word if you don't want to answer anything.
Great. Perfect.
If something's
Thanks. I was probably just going to be like, it's too far. It's too far. This is me tapping out.
Tapping out's good. Just
Yeah,
in
I
case you
know.
don't have words.
Yeah, because, sometimes you can't
I
talk.
imagine this is going to be a much louder show.
I don't
'cause There's a
know.
lot of peaking and energy happening right now.
There will be dynamics. Maybe. Sort of likely.
It
Kinda.
happens. It happens. Okay.
Also,
Cool.
I have no idea what we're going to talk about.
I don't know. Let's do it. How do I have 2 hands at once? That's hard. Okay.
You're right.
Great.
You're right. I
Yeah.
didn't have an expectation of like the athletes. Oh, I can teach you a thing. One of the people that we had on the show, Josh Sabra, he tells people that if you're ever in a high five moment and you're concerned about whether you're going to connect, you look at the elbow.
Yeah.
Did I tell you this already?
No. Well, maybe. Someone has told me that.
Yeah.
Multiple people have shared that with me. But I was like, there are 2 elbows. So I'm going to aim for the hands.
Lazy eye. This elbow and that elbow.
Right. Yeah. Is this one of those tricks where you're already filming so that I'm not worried about cameras and we're just
Probably.
yeah,
Yeah.
I've
So
done
far,
that
we've only
before.
talked about elbows.
That's true.
And I was
Could
going to
talk
say that
about
my
it.
grandmother has a lazy eye and I never knew which elbow she was looking at
Oh, that's fair.
or which eye to look at.
Yeah. Wait,
Didn't know.
she didn't know which eye to look at, or other people didn't know which eye to look at for her?
Yeah, for her. We couldn't tell. We kept thinking when we knew which eye it was.
Yeah.
The left eye. Wait, where's that one going? Should just keep changing your mind.
I wonder if she did it just to fuck with people.
Oh. No, I think she was an interesting kind of, her level of vanity is I think she would have preferred not to have a lazy eye. And I was actually really surprised she had skin cancer surgery. She had many surgeries to burn off, I guess, their lesions on your face.
Yeah.
And I was really surprised that she met me at a restaurant during a time when her face peel was super bright and pink and sort of scabby, given that she was just, well, partly she tried to race tan me as a tiny white woman. You probably don't want to try to out tan a young, mixed, easily tan person, but so that's probably why she had some skin issues in there.
Oof.
But yeah, that she came out, I was really kind of touched and shocked. I learned a new thing about her,
Yeah.
just because she was like, "You're in town now. I want to experience it," and that she was able to let go of this idea of how she appeared in public.
That's awesome.
Social appearances.
Yeah,
I
no,
did
those
not.
are hard to let go of.
Right? It was not something I would have anticipated she was capable of.
Pretend that I'm touching my throat in a gesture of, oh, that's so sweet, because I'm not going to touch my mic. I'm going to keep my hands right here on my knees. It's very comfortable, natural. Ankles crossed, very... Yes, is this what
Yes,
is this what
Zed.
people do?
This is how all of my interviews go. We just
Very
sit with
static
really good posture.
and not much breathing.
So
couldn't do that. But thank you. But also
Yeah.
that was a beautiful story. I just
you can touch your neck. We can fix it in post. Right?
worried about his ears. Okay.
Fair. Well, I guess we started. I'm Adrianne. I'm Adrianne, the Adrianne Gunn. That's me. I'm hanging out with my friend. You can say your name, maybe.
Great. Yeah. Cool. I'll say my name now. I'm Zed, and I'm gender neutral, so I use they them pronouns. So stop thinking that I'm a boy. Ha!
I was gonna go with like one of the fun things we have in common is like people meet us and like, what are you?
I know.
What are you? Where do you come from? How were you made? What's happening? Mine not so much with gender anymore. When I was much younger, up until 24.
We've talked about that a little bit.
Right. I used to get kicked out of bathrooms and yelled out at bathrooms a lot when I was little. So it was like a more like broader version of like, what are you? And people would literally ask me that. What are you? I'm your cashier. Would you like a burger or a milkshake? How can we get this done now?
Fries are a thing. Why is this a concern? Yeah, it's always interesting, like what interaction you're having with people, and like, it's not important that you know what genitalia I have. It's not important that you know what I have in my pants. Yet people are like really curious about that.
Well, some of them might be curious because they'd love to know what's in there because they might want to do things with them.
But often they like go about asking like in all the wrong ways, which totally takes you out of the running for any like reveal party.
Oh my God, you have reveal parties like all the time. I'm just envisioning that in my head right now.
Surprise! It's well, what do you want today? Like,
Yeah. Today's genitalia reveal is I've got this pitchfork. Let's have fun. Why not?
I mean,
Pokey.
You know, there's I'm sure there's a kink.
Someone's
I'm sure
into
it
that.
exists. Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
There's some stuff on the internet. Maybe we should go there.
What should we Google next?
There's you might want to take this out in post, but there's something called shit dick nipples.
Shit dick nipples.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes. So they are nipples shaped like dicks that excrete fecal matter.
Ooh.
And that's a thing.
You fill them first?
I have no idea. I haven't actually seen this. I was kind
How
of terrified
large
to
are
look
these
it up.
nipples? Dick-shaped nipples. That
Well, no, I think like they're like, well, yes, but I don't. The whole thing. There's like so much happening that I'm like, why did you have to? Okay, I haven't looked it up because I was worried that I would be traumatized.
Are they sort of self-adhesive?
I don't know.
If you, forgive me if I'm asking.
No, I
too
think
much.
this
It's
is like
fascinating.
an animated thing. This is for sure like an animated
Oh.
type of porn.
That makes a lot more sense because you could just draw that. If you can think of it, you can draw it and make it porn.
Yes, and people do that a lot.
Yeah, but I was like,
I suppose you could. There's
I used to steal chromies from cars.
yeah.
Sort of that size, dick-shaped, like on the ends of a thing,
Yeah.
and then you fill it with. Not so much shit could come out of there.
You could put chocolate in there. You could a little bit of chocolate.
Dick-shaped chocolate-filled nipples. Okay.
Well, when you put it like that, no, I'm still not into it. But I mean, like, I could like be a little more tolerant. Like,
If you're into that,
yeah,
there's room for you. Apparently, there are places you can go
you can
and
find
play.
that on the internet.
There are things
It's
for
there.
everyone.
Yeah, they kind of really do. Yeah.
Now, I told you that just before you got here, we had two sex educators here talking about
Yeah,
things.
that's so exciting. I'm so glad that they were here. I'm
Yeah.
really like excited to watch their interviews.
Yeah. You got to sort of play in a world of engaging. They work at a toy store?
Yeah, they work at Shebop, right?
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
You worked at a different toy store?
Shebop is based in Portland.
Yeah.
And Fantasy has most of their stores in Portland, but has one store somewhere in Montana. And that was the first store.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like, it's the same company, and they have like...
Bless you. I don't know if anyone heard that. I may have a tissue somewhere. Yep. Tissue's off camera.
Okay.
All right.
He's fine.
We're all in this together.
Yeah.
Did you just have the same thought I just had and didn't want it to happen?
Yes. Well, I mean, but it could. I mean, I didn't actually want it to not happen.
That he was going to sneeze again?
Like if you sneeze, like that's great.
Sneezing is allowed.
Yeah.
We include all things. We're tolerant of all ways of expressing your, fuck, there's dust here. It's not supposed to be getting things out of holes you don't want them to be in.
Yes.
It's what sneezing is for,
Yeah.
right?
I
Isn't
just,
it?
you know what? My brain went right back to shifting nipples. I was like, so let me just give me a second to like get that out.
I mean, we're gonna circle back around to it anyway. Probably.
Yeah, that's fine. Like now it's like completely out and like it can be removed. So yeah, no, I worked at Fantasy for 5 months.
Mm-hmm.
An amount of time that was a surprisingly fun time.
Yeah.
I just couldn't handle the graveyard schedule because I work a lot of gigs and I couldn't be awake all night and then be awake all day and just not sleep. I tried.
You did the non-sleeping world for a while, and sadly, you and I are connected to friends that don't sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems as though, oh, it's possible, but
Yeah.
they're freaky people.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I'm not sure how they do it. I'm impressed. It's perhaps not for me. I can scale my sleep schedule back down to like 5 hours is like 6 hours is like I'm fine.
Yeah.
You know, 4 hours is maybe leaves that alone.
Right. Well, the 4 hours has to also include specific nap times that you actually keep.
Yes.
There.
I love napping, but I don't nap enough.
Mm.
Yeah,
So all of these things that you do,
yeah.
I know that you exist as a human in this fashion, but there are many, many things you do. Like, I happen to know you're going on tour to perform
I am
soon.
going on tour in a week to Alaska, and I'm very calm about it. I'm not looking at a camera right now. Like if I just pick one,
This is your friend.
I'm very calm about it. What's this camera?
That's the one that catches how lovely you are when you're engaging with me.
Ah, like great.
See?
Just the
Exactly that.
perfect. But yeah, leaving in a week, and that's one of the many things. Now my day job is working at a preschool, which is the other side of sex.
Yeah.
There's children that usually happen because someone had sex.
Generally, that's
Yeah.
so far.
Yeah.
People were getting really grumpy about that. Did you see the meme on Facebook about the babies that are grown in like you can watch them
Like
grow
a
like
test
a
tube
like
kinda
a
thing.
well, not just test tube, but like they grow in like this faux womb that you can see into. So it's more like baby growing aquarium.
Yeah, I've seen it.
And I didn't get so grumpy because I was like, if they made baby growing backpacks, I don't know, I might participate in that.
It's like
That
a
seems
better
cool.
like I don't know, like I would rather I'm not interested in ever carrying a child.
Yes.
But I would rather carry it back here than in the front.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you have people who like expect you to
Make
make
people
babies?
come out of my body?
Yeah.
People said things. Only a couple people thought that was a possibility for me. But I think generally I lived in a way where people... I don't know if it's because they just didn't want me to have kids. They're like, let's make sure that doesn't happen. But no, I think there wasn't really an expectation in my family. My family is funny because technically we're a family, but I don't think they like kids or marriage. no one. I asked my dad about this, and like apparently nobody, like his parents didn't think he'd ever get married, and didn't have an expectation of kids. My grandmother's kind of excited that there were grandchildren, but we weren't like family people or kid people.
Yeah.
Even when I was little, I was surrounded by adults all the time.
Yeah.
So those expectations weren't conversations that we had.
Sure.
But then strangers. Like I was in a Best Buy. I was working in a Best Buy in Bellingham, and this guy some stranger said something about that I would make a great mother, and I was like, I'm not interested in that. And he was like, but that's what your body is for. Like he said something like, women's bodies are for things. It's your biological surface, and I was like, it's creepy. I suppose there's truth that I could make one of those out of my own body.
Yeah.
I think it'd be great to like combine cool ass genetics and let somebody else like grow it and raise it. That'd be fun. But I don't want it to come out of me. Is a thing that I feel.
It's possible, because that's kind of how I was created.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm a donor in vitro baby.
Sweet. Do you have water near you? Is that a thing?
No, I don't.
It's in the kitchen?
It sounded really good though, didn't it? Like I think you should keep that.
Do you have your...
No, I did not bring it over with me. It's over on the table. I think it's probably passed now. Did I go get my water?
Wait.
No, I wasn't. Yeah, no. I was totally going to stop right there.
Wait. Go get your water.
Okay.
In vitro baby.
Yeah,
Tell
I'm
us
not
more.
actually sure.
It's fun because we can still hear you.
No, I mean, I got that. I'm not actually sure. So for reasons that I've shared with you, we haven't talked about this.
We have time a little bit. I didn't memorize all of it. We have new people listening now.
You know, I got my phone and not my water.
I could not swallow that. And I didn't want to wet my floor. So.
I thought we already did the sex expert interview.
I know. Spitting and swallowing. With Adrianne and Zed.
That's, you know.
Oh my god. I did not expect to
Sorry.
have laugh tears. I've named them now. Laughter is laugh tears.
Laugh tears.
When you cry, you're laughing and cry.
Laugh tears, yeah. No, that's good.
Air. Okay. You got your water now, though.
I do. I've obtained my water. I was like, why don't I have water? There's my phone. Oh, I grabbed my phone.
Can't drink that.
It's the other
Yet.
safety net. No, but maybe. So yeah, I maybe don't put the part where my mother is a con artist in the show. But
I don't know. Editing's hard.
is it?
I mean, you could try a different way of starting the sentence.
That's true. I could.
Oh, our mothers. All
Ooh.
of us. We
Yeah.
have them.
Complicated relationships all around. The story that I was told growing up was that I was a donor in vitro baby. So I'm not genetically related to the person who carried me, but I am genetically related to my siblings who came from the same cluster of eggs.
Cool.
Yeah,
You came from a cluster.
I did.
Is
There were
that-
like multiple eggs that had all been fertilized by the same set of sperm.
I'm trying to. Is that sensate or is that galaxy?
No, that's Sensei.
It's Sensei of the cluster? Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
You're from a
that'd
cluster.
be so cool.
Yeah.
I only know of 3 of us right now. There might be more. I've been told that there's more, but I don't think I've actually met them. So I don't think that I would know either. I haven't tried though. Haven't tried the whole.
Like connecting psychically with those in your cluster.
Yeah, no, I don't think I can't do that.
That's a lot of essential oils you have to sniff.
Yeah. Nope.
Okay.
Didn't happen. So yeah, but you don't. I guess like as soon as you said something about like you have to like, it is possible to like donate your genetic material to have someone else have a kid. They're actually working on transplanting uteruses and stuff, so that like trans women could be able to carry a child, and you could just be like, oh yeah, no, I don't want this. Take it, use it, enjoy it.
Fascinating. I hadn't heard that story yet.
Yeah, no, they're working on it. I suspect it's really hard to get funding for that particular stuff right now, given all sorts of factors.
Sure.
But they are working on it.
Well, usually like supply and demand.
Yeah.
That's just my businessing mind.
Well,
Is there more demand for
I think there's a lot of
changing parts?
demand. There's like a good portion of society who says that people shouldn't exist in that way. So
Right.
yeah.
Also, the cost. The
It's
cost
very
is a bit
expensive.
high.
It's very expensive to be trans feminine. It really is. It's cheap to go the way that I go, because my shots just cost like at most $80 a month, and I don't have to pay that. So
That's a good time.
yeah, no, off I go.
So what you're saying, though, just to be clear, is that
Clarity.
trans people exist. Just with the water. Good call about not drinking yet. It's an important...
What if I told you, Adrianne,
Yes.
that I am real? I know, this is news to me too. Younger me had no idea.
Yeah, well,
But-
there's a kind of awareness growing.
Yeah,
Can I ask a weird thing?
sure.
What is this awareness of exactly?
Of my gender?
Well, because trans people existing, it's an interesting thing because it's not just one specific, like, oh, we found this new kind of clover. Look.
Yeah.
Because it's what's existing is, hey, this.
Yeah.
A lot of this, more 3 dimensions and gender expression and
Yeah.
identity and engagement. And so it's a very, I think it's kind of confusing for people to like step in and figure out, because we sort of try to squeeze people into some boxes.
Yeah.
And so stretching that out and opening it for like everybody, I don't know, maybe that's my hope, but like,
Yeah.
what is it we're collectively learning more about now?
I like the idea that no one should have to fit inside those boxes, because if you really like look at the binary, it's based on some very sexist dated ideas. It's terrible. So to me, I would love to live in a world where gender just doesn't exist, or whatever someone chooses as their gender just doesn't have any kind of impact in how they exist in the world
Sure.
at all.
That'd be neat.
I have been told by other people in the world that they would also love to live in that world, and if it were ruled by My Little Pony, that'd be even better, and that I have fantastic world building skills.
Yeah, well, what's funny, as you're saying that now, I don't know that this world that we live in will do that. I do have a feeling that as we get into virtual reality,
Yeah.
we actually can structure constructs that we might sort of live in moments to have an experience that we want to cultivate and create. Like people would play together in a virtual space that has completely different rules, and almost that a programmer could program what those rules were,
Yeah.
and you could have an experience that you didn't dictate. Does that
Right.
make sense?
I think it does, and that sounds amazing, and also kind of sad, because I'm still like, but what about this world?
Right. Yeah.
Which is the one that I exist in.
Sure.
But no, that sounds fantastic, and I would love to play in a created world like that. Would I? Yeah, I think so. I don't know.
I think I thought of it because I wanted the ability to someday. I would love the technology to exist that I could not only like feel like I'm in a different space, but actually feel like it, like feel the sensory experiences of maybe I would, I'd get to be a male, I'd be a female in a particular way, get different body shapes. Maybe I'd be like a cheetah or an elephant, and they would create this for like porn.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
course
like
they
I would love to fuck like an elephant.
The first
right?
thing, no, the first thing they did when they created like virtual reality was like boom, like Pornhub had a whole like VR section like immediately.
Yeah.
Like that happens. And now, oh my gosh, now there's like, so I don't know if this talked about earlier, because Shebop kind of focuses on female-bodied clients, whatever their gender identity may be, but
They do talk about a lot of the bodies.
yeah,
And
no,
many of the
which is
things.
great.
Yeah.
But femme-oriented, no, not even that. I don't know. Basically, fantasy has these like VR toys now that like, and Pornhub makes one variety, and they're like, so you can like put on your little VR thing, and then there's a penis sleeve that will grip your dick based on like whatever video is playing on the porn, and you set the speed by a sensor that's on your wrist because obviously.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're like, and everything kind of syncs up so that you have this like very immersive but manufactured experience.
And we think, those of us who might go like, they're putting all this technology into porn, how is that useful? It occurs to me that, so porn often drives technological advances in like video and all sorts of other things.
Yeah.
I have a shoulder that has less range of motion than the other one, and I'm thinking like it could be cool to live in a virtual reality. If you're thinking about the way that the brain works and neurons fire, and the ways that our eyes are connected to all, I think about 98% of our neurology, I could probably be in a VR world, have a machine maneuver and manipulate my arm, much like this penis sleeve thing is manipulating a penis, but have it so that it can mirror what my right hand is doing, and so reteach my left arm how to do things
Yeah,
that
to
I
like
never knew
respond to like what's firing and stuff, and to like
how to do. Because when
Yeah.
I was tiny and I'd had my shoulder pulled when I was born because I was stuck, I didn't use my arm in the wiggly ways that you're supposed to
Right.
learn how to like do all of the range of motion.
yeah,
I just want to have things that show up and can reteach that.
yeah.
And I'm pretty sure porn's the pathway. Like
Porn is
people
the pathway
making
to
stuff
many
for,
things.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think people are as grateful and thankful to porn for some of our.
No, they're
Someone
not.
could Google that
Yeah.
and then send me a message about this is what porn did for everybody. But
And then like also send it to me. That'd be cool.
right,
Because I want to know. Or you could send it to me.
I can do that.
Yeah. Great.
We get
Yeah.
along.
Yeah.
I'll keep your number.
See each other outside of this space right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's other stuff. So fantasy worked
Mhm.
there. You did things.
Yeah.
You've been performing a lot lately.
Yeah, I have. It's pretty exciting. Like in the last 18 months, I'd say, like my performance appearances in the city have just like ramped up, and I've started to do more of what I love, and that is primarily performance. My primary relationship is performance. I that's just fact.
Yeah.
Everything else is second except for my cat.
Oh, how
Yeah.
is your cat?
She's great. She's great. She hasn't had seizures in like several months, so she's good. She's doing solid.
Yay, kitty.
Yeah, she's grumpy, but that's fine. She's a cat. She's allowed to be grumpy.
Right. Speaking of tails. that was my segue.
Perfect.
Right?
Smooth
Kitty.
as fuck.
Speaking. Well, smooth as fucking be as smooth or rough as
It's
it
true.
can be. So
That's true.
we had a query. It just came in on my phone. Boop beep boop beep boop. Just kidding. I met you. I don't even know if I met you here, but I got to see you in a improv
show.
troupe.
Yeah.
Where my friend Tiffany, who I call Bob, was the physical comedian that was
love
being
Tiffany.
tossed all over the room and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And so Tiff Bob was gone, and I come in to see this show. I forget which friend I'm watching, and then you ended up being like new replacement, thrown about, tossed around person.
Oh yeah.
And I think
was a huge fan of being thrown around as an improviser.
I think you had a giant red mohawk
Oh, it's very possible. My hair changes a lot.
and a rainbow tail.
I
That is
did
what
have a
remember.
rainbow tail. Yeah, that was like my first tail.
Oh.
Yeah.
So the question was, like, when did you discover the tail? Was that the question? Was that the exact wording of the question from some anonymous source?
Totally. I
don't
mean-
remember.
Oh,
Like,
I mean, if
how
someone
did the
else
tail
wanted
happen?
to ask the question, My ears are open.
we were told we can't yell from across the street. Are you a furry?
It's true. I mean, people have tried that, and I'll just reiterate for the lovely viewers that someone did yell this question to me across the street, and it was dark outside,
shame.
and I was less mask presenting than I am now, but have like worn a tail for the last 5 years and have worn testosterone for only 3. So, but this person was like, "Are you a furry?" And I was like, "What do you like doing in bed?" And which was, I thought, was a fantastic comeback. It perhaps wasn't, because then he wanted to answer and also continue the conversation. Luckily, I'm really good at walking fast, so I booked it.
Yes.
As one does.
Right.
Perhaps, if they don't feel like they should stay and continue that conversation. Which
Usually.
I did not. Yeah, I
Yeah.
did not want to stay. So I left. And I'm always trying to come up with different things to say to that question because it pops up a lot.
I'm sure.
Yeah. But if I'm comfortable around someone, I'm like, chill, it's just aesthetic. It's a thing that I do. I have friends who are furries, and I consider it it's a thing that I like to do. I got my first tail at Pride here in Portland 5 years ago.
Yeah.
On the waterfront, and I got these rainbow hand socks, and I got a tail because I thought it was the cutest thing.
Yeah.
And it was great. And then I wanted to wear it throughout Pride weekend when I was working at New Seasons. And then I just kept wearing it, and I was 19. Oh, so that makes it 6 years because we're almost to Pride. Okay, so I've been wearing a tail for 6 years.
Right.
And then I reached a point where I was like, I can't keep wearing this rainbow tail. I need to have a grown-up tail. So I started wearing fur tails because they were a little more serious and they matched my aesthetic
Yeah.
a little bit more effectively.
Sure.
So I can switch it up between really shades. But
I love so we work together sometimes in theater world,
Yeah.
backstage theater world, and
Yeah.
I just made the assumption that when you were coming in dress blacks to be a house manager, I was like, oh, I wonder if Zed has a dress tail, like the professional blacks.
well, it's not a dress tail. That's actually the most not real tail that I have because it's all plastic fur kind of thing. But it looks very floofy, and it is solid black, which it's actually kind of hard to find in real fur. So that's what I wear when I'm working
Yeah.
backstage, and I still want to wear a tail. If I'm on the rigging, I sometimes don't
It
wear a
reminds me a
tail.
little of Mario 3,
Yeah.
where you can suddenly fly. Is it
can't
part of a
fly.
superhero aspect of yourself?
I do feel more myself when I'm wearing a tail, but possibly in the same way that some people feel more themselves when they're wearing any other outfit accoutrement that they just wear all the time. I get weirded out when I'm walking and it's sunny and I see my shadow and there's not a tail going swish behind me. That weirds me out.
Yeah.
Because it's been 6 years and I'm like, what? Where'd it go? It's weird.
Also, it does this really great extension of your swoosh if you're walking.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I feel like it's also in another way it's helped me be comfortable about walking and moving my hips because I have to move my hips in order to make the tail swoosh, and that's a lot of fun to do. I recommend it.
Okay.
Yeah, if you actually want to try I have tails that you can swoosh around and they're fun.
Okay. Let's set that on the calendar.
Great.
Tail swooshing classes.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it would be a full class so much as here, put this on your belt loop and walk around for a while.
A lot of the training company that I went to for hypnosis and NLP,
Yeah.
they have a lineage from Hawaii, and one of the things that they teach in this, when they teach esoteric energy practices from Hawaii, huna, they have a hula class, and one of the prompts is there are benefits from learning how to effectively move your hips.
Yes.
And if we're getting deeper scientific and emotional, being able to move your hips and release tension that we have from even just sitting
Yeah.
and storing rage and anger and all sorts of shame and trauma in our
Yeah.
hips. Tail swooshing could be the newest emotional release technique.
Oh man, so what you're
Or
saying
craft
is
it.
that I should probably talk to you about how I can actually make this the new Portland thing.
Oh my god.
So that I could like make money off of doing it. That's what I'm hearing.
Or
right now.
spread joy, but then be rewarded financially for spreading joy.
So I heard
Swoosh
money
your
again.
hips. Swoosh your hips, increase your joy. I have a friend that has a space. If you could do meditative tail swooshing, maybe my friend Melissa will let you do it at meditation for regular people. But I'm not saying that she would.
Yeah. No, we can talk
You could
about this.
absolutely start a tail swooshing class.
I probably could. I had actually the rainbow tail is gone now. A 4-year-old stole it.
Like they do.
Like they do. Well, and it was the kind of situation where the parent of the child was like, "I'm so sorry." She was so excited, and she was so excited to have a tail, and she has hidden it somewhere and claims that she can't find it. And I was like, "Don't worry, it's fine. I have so many more tails. Let someone else enjoy the rainbow tail."
Children.
But children, I work really well with them. I think it's because of my willingness to get down on the floor and be weird. Earlier today, I started a dance-off with an 18-month-old human,
Nice.
and I lost, but that was fine.
Of course you did. Oh no.
It was really good.
What move took you down?
Well, I mean, so I have a complicated relationship with my hips. And, you know, there's a moment where, sorry for the camera, but there's like, you know, the kids like doing this, because that's how toddlers dance. So they go down, down,
The
down,
bouncing
down,
down.
down.
Yeah.
And then I was doing that for a minute. I was like, oh, you win. you get to, and the kid was like, dun, dun, doing his dance. And I was like, oh, that's so cute. I need to go cook now.
Yeah, I love the like get down, get on up, get down. Like how low can you get down? That thing in the dancing, I used to be able to get down, but then just also get back up, and mostly I get stuck.
You
Like,
get, you get down, and then you're like, great,
Love the
gonna rock it from here.
just gonna shift and wiggle, and then
No, the shift
like-
and wiggle is like, that's a solid move.
it is.
I don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna own it. I'm doing my shift and wiggle. I'm just stuck here, and let me just sensually borrow your shoulder while I like wait for it. Huzzah! Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
I
You
got
can
this
justify
dancing
that.
thing down.
No, I think so. One of our mutual friends gave me some advice on how to dance.
Oh.
Yeah, because I was like, I don't know how. Nope. I could do like a foxtrot. I could do that, but there's like structure to a foxtrot. And someone was like, oh no, you just like tell a story with the way that you dance. You know what I'm
Yes.
talking about now.
I think I know why you know that story, because if that's the story that you learned from that person, I may have taught that person that story, but I don't know if it's the same person.
It's probably the same person. This was, I don't know.
Telling a story with you dancing.
Maybe. Yeah,
I
was
told
it something
somebody
involving
that
a
we know.
vending machine?
I don't know. I used to, on the dance floor 10, 15 plus years ago, used to decide to tell, like, suddenly I'm playing basketball right now while I'm dancing, and suddenly I'm like, I'm walking to the store and this thing happens. And I would just do that on the dance floor and then make it work. Because you know how to, like, those are things I do with my body.
Yeah.
And so we have a mutual friend that may not have known how to dance in the past. And I was like,
Dancing is hard.
here's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's what I do. But I don't know if that's the person who taught you that. It's exciting.
I don't know. we can find out off camera.
I don't like want to out
What a
this
mystery.
person.
Yeah. Just how much more vague can we be in this discussion of not vague things?
We're pretty creative.
Yeah,
We
that's
could
true.
get more vague
Figure it out.
things.
Yes.
I'm touching my finger now. I don't know why. It doesn't feel like it's my finger. Sorry. Tangent. Weird. Maybe it's lighting because they're different colors, and for some. Do you ever do that where you like you're
Yes.
touching parts of your body and you're like, that's not mine. Where did that come from? And I can't figure
Yeah.
out why brains
Yeah.
get confused.
No. It's one of my favorite ways to trick your brain is to like find like a round surface and cross your fingers and do that. It's a really good way to confuse your body. You should try it.
Okay.
If you like cross your fingers like that.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Maybe don't look at it, but like, okay, so like index and like, yeah, the idea is that you're supposed to find something like a marble and like roll.
Oh, that is weird.
Yeah, it's weird because we're used to, yeah. So that's a weird sensory thing that sometimes I do to like fuck with my brain. I'm like, can you figure out what's happening? My brain's like, no, why are we doing this? Because it's fun.
Because fun. So how did you get challenged by this 18-year-old into this dance? Like, how did they throw down and be like,
Oh, 18
you
month
and me,
old.
9th month, right? Yeah.
Oh, well, you know, I just delivered the morning snack, and then the kid looked at me, and I knew it was on. That's how that happened.
That is how most dance battles start.
Yes. There was like some kind of like good song playing, and sometimes I go into this room to just dance with they're called wobblers because they are not quite toddlers, but they are bigger than babies.
Okay.
But they wobble.
Yes.
That's how they walk around. So they're called wobblers. And that's the name of the classroom. So I will go into the wobbler classroom because I feel like if that's like the one dance move that is like the dance move to do in there, I can like fit in there and dance. So I will go in there to dance in the mornings. And so I just started dancing. And that's how that happened. Was the kid was just kind of looking at me like, you've brought food. What now? And I was like, now we dance. And because food and like food is a thing worthy of dancing about. So yeah.
When food's really good, I accidentally notice that I'm dancing. Like at the table, I'm just like into it.
Yeah, I get excited. Like when I'm like cooking and stuff and things start to smell really good, I do tail swooshing. Yeah, and then I'll like maybe like make up weird songs and like start singing.
Okay.
I think my roommate is okay with it.
It's fair. I'm in good spirits if I'm making up weird songs about things that are happening in the house.
Yeah.
Definitely, it's a state of joy that one can get to.
Like comfort and like just for me, it's like super like comfortable. Like I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna make up this song about how I'm cooking kale and I'm not gonna burn it this time, and it's gonna be great. It's a good song.
Yeah.
I've succeeded maybe once at the song. I don't usually burn my kale, do I?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know. I've been using frozen kale for a while because I have the issue of buying food thinking I can cook it. My world fluctuates enough that I don't always know where I'm going to eat when I'm eating.
Yeah.
So I'll go like, Ernestly, I'm buying fresh food, and I'll have it, and then I'll be throwing it away like a week later. So I started just buying frozen vegetables because then they're frozen fresh.
Yeah.
And then I just toss them in and make them into things when I can.
Do you find it's easier to eat in the winter or the summer? Does that like affect your eating schedule at all?
I get really mad at food in the summer.
Okay.
There's some point in like late April where I don't want to chew. Urgh. So more of my summer habits include shakes and less food.
Okay. Because I find it easier to eat in the summer, in part because one of my other jobs, many jobs, is I work at a farmer's market. And so the farmer that I work for will often gift me as much produce as I can carry and then some. Like he feeds my family, and then I will also like feed my neighbors with this like bounty. And in the summer, it's very easy for me to be like, I'm gonna have like tomatoes and like some like weird beef pate and like, you know, all these other like berries and stuff and like cucumber and like things that are like easy and snackable because I'm often running around so much that I can't expect like a burger to stay good in my backpack because I'm not often near a fridge. I'm in motion. So I find it easier to eat in the summer. And then in the winter, I'm like, soup? Yeah? And then it inevitably spills all over my backpack, which enrages me. I get so angry about soup in my backpack.
Yeah. Have they made like cooler backpacks for... Because like, there are a lot of freelancers that work from different spaces or they're transitioning between jobs. I know that they make coolers, but do they make like somewhat of like battery-powered refrigerated backpacks, maybe with levels?
That sounds wonderful.
All right.
That must exist.
Because of my needing to eat usually meat and such, it's hard for me to have cooked food somewhere else.
Totally.
I mean, thermoses are things. But
Yeah, and they must be making like better thermoses now than like 20 years ago, right? Must be. I don't know. That Hydro Flask is like amazing.
yeah, it's just but thermos is a pretty good technology on its own.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I've seen the people who have like the stackable thermos layers, and one layers of soup and other salads, and like so cold, hot, cold, but it's magic.
Oh,
Have you seen those?
that's cute. No, I haven't. That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll find that and send it to you.
Okay. Cool.
Because it's hard to like eat consistently. Like
Yeah.
taking care of oneself when you have 8 careers.
Yeah. How do you? I don't know. I feel like I've started to figure out some tricks, and the trick is just making sure that I have something on me to eat.
Right.
Because in the last like year, I would say before I started really like trying to see how many jobs I could handle, when I stopped working for New Seasons Market and was like, I'm gonna try and do this independent contractor, work a bunch of different gigs, try and make it work thing, go. And I did. And I think the biggest first hurdle was, how do I eat food?
Yeah.
And I just have, now I'm just like, I think that's probably why I like running around in the summer more, because winter is just it's hard to make stuff that I don't have to reheat and will still taste good.
Yeah, I don't think that we like this amount of time that we actually spend trying to figure out as human people how to eat food. I don't feel all that guilty about it, because there used to be the thing where you would wake up in the morning and you would dig and poke and move around the, you either poke the animals that you were potentially going to eat, or milk, or get things from. Like we historically spent a lot of time figuring out our food, spending all day on making our food happen and that sort of thing. So that even though we're in this like modern age where theoretically you can get food at the stores and it should be easy, I don't feel I feel like really close to my ancestors when I can't figure out how to eat.
That's great.
Like I don't usually spend much time in this lineage place, but
Perfect.
food, survival, fire, bite it. I don't know. Like
Yeah, I know.
that struggle.
All of
is-
those things, I really like fire, and I like biting things, so.
If you can combine all that.
I don't know about biting fire, but maybe.
I've eaten fire. Have you eaten fire yet?
No, I haven't eaten fire.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'll try it, maybe.
Right.
I don't know. Life is about trying stuff, right?
I think so. Did I sound slightly Canadian for a second?
A little bit.
Heck yeah, it is.
I don't, so it's funny because like everyone's always like, oh yeah, totally, like Canadian accent, it's a thing. And I'm like, I don't believe you.
It is.
Yeah, I don't believe you. And also, like, apparently I have it, but it only comes out before I've had any coffee and I'm real tired.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm angry, apparently it comes out. Like actually, like, angry, like, ranting, like, raving about something that I'm not practiced about raving about.
Right.
Maybe I'll add that nuance. Because if it's a rant that I've had a lot of,
Right.
it's a little more ingrained. And then if I'm drunk as a skunk,
Mm-hmm.
then it comes out.
Yes.
And sometimes if I say out, it comes out.
Yes. But
There you
not
have
just
it.
then.
No.
I used to joke that I speak Canadian because I worked in, well, I grew up watching Canadian TV.
Yeah.
And then I worked in Bellingham, which is right on the border. And at the point, it was a little bit before the recession when the Canadian dollar was like coming up. Everybody was so excited.
Here it was a good time.
Yeah, I was like, oh, my money's worth more. Everybody would come in and be really excited and spending money on cameras and stuff.
Yeah.
So it got neat. It just took like shifting words and sentences in different places, and then rounding some of my vowels in a different way.
Oh yeah, sure.
Fun.
I mean, I still say A.
Yeah.
I drop that quite a bit more. I feel like it's subtle though. Like people just accept it and they don't always pick up on it.
And Portland's pretty good. Like Midwesterners and Canadians can do quite well here
Yeah.
for whatever reason. Something I've noticed.
Probably because that whole area of the two countries is just really one blob. I don't know. I feel like you start to get different culturally speaking if you head further east and then south. Maybe not even east.
I have heard rumors about the different areas of the country being differently cultured.
Yeah.
Have
maybe.
you heard these stories?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe like that's actually there's been like semi-frequent discussion about it.
Like the middle of the country that kept, what's that show? Well, NCIS. There are people who watch it and they like it. It was on a long time. I don't know why. The 2.5 Men. Apparently, people watched it. I don't know why, but it's very popular. And then there's like this whole middle part of the country. I think that's them. They were watching it.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed it.
Why? Yeah, because I remember.
Well, John Cryer's awesome, except for in that show. I love John Cryer.
Yeah.
Bring him back. I got really excited about it, and then it's just preference, I suppose.
I don't know. Because I remember all of these shows back when I didn't realize that one could choose what they watch. That was like a thing that I learned probably when I was 15, and then I didn't want to watch stuff. I just wanted to write stuff.
Cool.
So I like did the world building thing, like wrote stuff. Text-based role playing. That was a thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was fun. It was it was how I probably started to realize that I had any fancy gender confluence happening, like started to explore it. It's where I met most of like the closest friends of mine that I've known for like well over a decade that are also not cisgender or just not a terrible cisgender person. Like fantastic allies.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was because of the internet. And text-based role-playing. Like, yeah, building worlds and stuff together. Writing about anything from, like, circus acrobats to vampires. My life makes so much sense now. So.
Well, you get to play these things on stage.
I do.
And also kind of in real life.
Yeah, a little bit.
I don't know. Do you bring your stage life into your real life?
Ooh, what would my therapist want me to think about on this?
I don't know. I'm not privy to those conversations. That's how that works.
No. I met someone several years ago who told me that as people, when we interact in the world, we wear different masks for different interactions, right?
Yeah.
I don't think it was you. Like, as we talk, I'm like, did Adrianne talk to me about this?
It's a thing I say sometimes.
Yeah.
But there was a person.
I'm pretty confident that this one instance that I'm thinking of wasn't you. But
Perfect.
this person's point was that, like, you know, we just have different ways that we interact with people. And I would say that I am very comfortable just creating, like, I don't want to say facade, but, like, almost a pseudo facade, which almost sounds worse. Of, like...
Just for you.
Of just... Great. Of just, something that I'm, like, comfortable presenting to someone, but I can, like, keep pieces of myself tucked away. I guess that's really, to me, what performance is about, is, like, being very open and vulnerable, but, like, there's a couple parts of yourself that you don't want to share with everyone because you have to have boundaries to keep yourself safe. So those, like, inner sanctum parts of yourself you, like, learn to protect, and, like, there's different visualizations, like, you put it in a box and then you put the box away.
Yeah.
You bury the box, like...
Put it in the box.
In the box. But yeah, I think so. So I wouldn't say that I perform too much in real life. I can see how people would think that, but I chalk it up to being an extroverted, somewhat introverted person, an ambivert. I don't know.
Ambiverted.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've done the thing of, I think I may perform less in the sense of, like, I mean, we all create a kind of external version of ourselves.
Right.
The version of me I can take at the grocery store and still be safe.
Yeah.
And the version of me that I can go to barbecues with, who knows who's going to be there. Like,
oh, yeah.
Like, it's interesting, like, barbecues are more stressful to me than, like, going on a stage. The more comfortable I am is on a stage, and the more people in the audience, the better.
Absolutely.
And that works out for me because I have skills for that, and I have like flexibility and ways of, it's very safe up there.
Oh, I feel completely safe on a stage, actually, to the point where I'm like, I'm gonna, just like decide to take some of my clothing off because I talked about this half an hour ago, and this seems like a good idea and accurate for the thing that I'm doing. Very comfortable doing that.
Yeah.
If I were 2 steps forward and on the floor, not comfortable doing that.
Yeah.
Like, it's a completely different world. But there's like this agreement or something about how we treat people on stage that I appreciate.
Totally. Well, and there's a freedom.
Yeah.
There's a lot of responsibility about being on a stage, but then there's also freedom about it.
Yeah.
I've been thinking a lot, even just to turn on these cameras here, about how much of just to turn on the cameras themselves, like how much of my story can I share because it's connected to other people who are real and have their own lives and expectations,
right.
And how much can I drop in and be vulnerable about my own world. But then even thinking about the ways that creative people have to or can ask for help in other places and how that exchange works. So these like crowdfunding, Patreon, these spaces where in addition to creating this thing I'd love you for you to enjoy and find value in, I also now need to tell you about the process in my life. This way that, and I noticed it first in musician world, where social media was asking musicians to reveal the behind the curtains thing to build an audience. Yeah. And I'm like, but we already do this magic, wonderful thing for you on the stage. That, my life's my life. Like a lot of,
perfect.
a lot of boundaries around. Murph, welcome. Welcome into the door and the intersection.
Hi.
Sorry, I heard your voice and I was like, oh shit, that's right.
Oh, no worries. We're at the part of the show where you come in.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, I'm
Welcome.
here.
Okay.
I came in.
Just perfect timing.
Thank you. Well,
Yeah.
please continue.
Thanks. So what I was saying about the ways in which my actual life comes into the show, I'm not sure. You see what I did there?
Oh, I get it.
Like how much of my personal life I want to bring into the world. And I was resentful about the ways that business and art was like not getting to be as big production without seeing the behind the scenes. That like everybody was sort of required to like have a mailing list and share what's going on, and that opportunities for big money and labels, record labels weren't there. So you had to like connect people. Like Amanda Palmer is great, and she built a whole collective, but that being a requirement of everybody, it's a little terrifying because I love my little parts of me that are in the box. Yeah. In another box and buried in a box.
Yeah. Under like at least 2 feet of dirt.
Right, but then wrapped in like super soft blankets first and then.
Oh well, yeah. No, the dirt is not a bad thing. The dirt is like growth and like comfort.
It's warm.
Yeah, it's nice.
Is it warm dirt? Is your dirt warm?
No. Okay. But I mean, I grew up in a place with like very long winters, so
yeah. Like
I wasn't at like permafrost level because that's like that dirt's like too cold for my box, but.
Yes.
Yeah, I said that.
Yeah,
yes, I did. But
people's boxes like to be in colder places than others.
So.
But that's safer
I would
for
say,
you.
But yeah, so like, and I recently had an interaction where I met a new person for the first time, and I realized that aside from like running into a pharmacist and talking about bananas and then politics and then bananas again, like I will have these like brief, bright interactions with people where I'm like full force, like let's go, let's just talk, this is great, this is fun, I'm never gonna see you again, let's just have like a full interaction and then bye, it's great. But I met someone for the first time that wasn't like a networking thing. Oh. And another person who knows me very, very well, this person is my roommate, was like watching me do this interaction, and afterwards he was like, said, you could have been yourself. And I was like, but I was being myself. And he was like, yeah, but there was a different note to it. Like it was you, but he was like, but you weren't the comfortable Zed that I know you to be when we're just hanging out at home.
Right.
And I was like, oh, you haven't seen me meet someone new in like years. Like,
Yeah.
I've never, this hasn't happened. And I was like, oh, well, yeah, that's like the super bright, shiny, like, hello, hi, like, do you want to like shake hands and like, let's be friends? Like,
Yeah.
I'm just like super friendly.
Wait. Yes. Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, and it was just interesting to like realize that that's what was happening. That he was like, whoa, like, and there might have been other reasons for him to be like, whoa, like, he's a little more introverted than I am. So
Yeah.
if that kind of full force sometimes is like, I gauge it. Like, it's not always appropriate. Like I, as a performer, like I've learned to like read people a little bit.
Totally. Well,
A
yeah.
little bit.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. not in a
I
conscious
love
way.
it when somebody can like actually like witness you doing stuff. I had someone do that, like reflecting back what it was like to watch me share my different me-ness in the world,
Yeah.
and having somebody like, oh, I noticed this, and I'm like, oh yeah, I do
Mhm.
that. I think we all do that, showing
Yeah.
up in different worlds.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of the fun of. It's fun if we're allowing ourselves to be different versions of ourselves, even in our internal spaces,
Mm-hmm.
and recognizing that like different people bring out different aspects of who we are.
Yeah, it's like what resonates with you, and like I don't know, like you are probably very well aware in like the performance world. There's like exercises that you can do to like bring out different things,
Mhm.
and then play with them, and then maybe pull them back, or maybe discover something that's like something that you want to like keep around and explore. Like humans are weird
Yeah.
and complicated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I think in the arc of everything we've specifically talked about today, that like there's pleasure and joy and interesting things to be found
Yeah.
in trying out new ways of being.
Yeah.
I think that's the deal.
Yeah.
We talked about that. That's important, right?
Did we talk about that?
Kinda.
Yeah.
There's different
like
ways of
subtext.
expressing gender, different ways of like
Yeah.
engaging with children, different toys and virtual worlds that one can be in. The thing that's interesting is that you were saying, I was talking about this virtual world, and you're like, I want this one to be better for everybody, and that's
Yeah.
true. And there are tons of worlds here.
Yeah.
There's tons of versions of us. There are tons of worlds that we're living in. So that
Yeah.
our sense of like this world exists so differently for so many people.
Well, and I mean, I guess I could like add on to that whole thing of like, but this one, like, I consider myself lucky because I live in Portland, Oregon, and when I think about the amount of people in my social sphere that are friendly towards my lifestyle and how I express myself and who I just am as a person, I consider myself very lucky, because I know that I can take, a tiny flight 6 hours east and not be received at all in the same way, in a potentially like much worse way.
Sure. Yeah.
And so like I'm just like very grateful that I get to like be here and like hang out and express myself the way that I do.
And it's a shame because I think one of the points of me wanting to like have conversations with people is that you're delightful. And
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think you're amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I'm really happy that you have this project.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Also, everybody's fucking delightful.
Yeah.
We all, whatever shapes and squishy bits that we have, the closer you get into someone and getting to know more about who they are and what they're up to and how they experience the world,
Yeah.
I think there's just a lot of treasure that we can get when we engage with people differently.
Makes me think about like how social constructs make us so blind to just like acknowledging the peopleness of people.
Yeah.
Like you just see an apron, or you just see like an outfit that denotes status in a situation, and that's all that you need to see.
Yeah.
And
It's
of
a
course
sad
there's
life if you
more.
stay there
Yeah.
and not go
It
deeper.
is. Yeah. Sounds like we're onto something.
Yeah.
Just having like interactions.
They're pretty good.
Great. So the moral of the story is meet and greet people and then get to know them.
Yeah. There are you may want to come to this tail swishing class. Because if you're all
Yes.
swishing your tail, you have something in common.
I recommend it. I do. Question mark?
Good. Ah.
See, now I want to be like, hey, new experiences. You have all these like plugins right here.
Yeah.
I have this thing that like low-key electrocutes people. It's really cool.
Oh, I got shocked at the class. So
Mhm.
the two, Gretchen and Amory Jane were here. They had this like electric shocker thing
Yeah.
that makes like a spark, and it's a sound, but it's not that painful.
What did they have?
I don't know, some sort of rad shocker. They were teaching the
What
kink
was it
class.
called?
I
Do you Neon Wand?
don't know.
Did it have glass attachments?
No.
What?
Glass attachments.
Yeah.
Fancy. No,
Yeah.
you have a different thing that plugs in and does things.
It lights up.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab it. It's the full moon. This moon, by the way, is the blossom moon.
Blossom moon.
Yeah, because it's May and there's flowers happening.
So you brought this with you now? This
Well,
line
I
of
was,
thing?
I was gonna. Well, I didn't. Well, yes, but I didn't plan it. Like I was gonna. I had a friend who's like, "Ow, back pain," and I was like, you know what has helped me with wrist pain is like this kind of
Okay. There's a plug
physical
here.
therapy. Great. Maybe don't actually reach the ones that all the
Yeah.
equipment is tied to.
Yeah.
Look
Wow.
how fancy it
Electric
was.
wand vibe.
Yeah. I can't believe I'm doing this. I mean, I can though. This was part of my job at Fantasy. So I was like, who wants to like get hella kinky on the floor? That's me, right? I just want to introduce this to the world. Here, hold that.
Okay.
Great.
Holding this.
Great. Where's this plug in?
So there's a. Do you see it?
Oh, I do now. Okay. And it's plugged into a power source that is real.
Yes. Yes, it
that's
is not
off.
on a dimmer.
Okay. Okay. Then we take this, and you're probably not going to be able to see it because these lights are so effective, but you kind of see it's a little red in there.
Oh
There we go. So this is a thing where you can like. So when I was recovering, oh hey. Got to do that one too. I don't know. That's really.
yeah. Blocking
So
it.
there's a
Look
version-
at this. Look.
Ha! Wow, it's so cool. I don't know how to make this work. I mean, I know how to make this work. But so, anyways, like when I was, you can see it like when it touches
Yeah.
skin, it gets red. But when I had wrist surgery, I had a physical therapist essentially like do this a lot because it promotes blood flow. And the reason this is like a kinky thing is that it promotes blood flow.
Promoting blood flow
Yes.
is part of health.
It is, but this is one of my favorite things. But the best one is an attachment that is not glass. So if you think about like 3rd grade, I'm doing my fantasy spiel, so I'm just giving away all my secrets right now.
Okay.
Who needs to go to fantasy now when you just know everything about the Neon Wand immediately? I should probably charge them for talking about their product.
Oh.
Actual wand themselves, but oh well, that's fine.
They make this.
They do make this. So this, it's an off-brand of another type of wand that's fancier and actually has a Tesla coil in it.
Cool.
For like
Tesla coil.
more power. This just has a computer board in it to like control where the electricity goes. So if you touch me right now, you'll get shocked. Do you want to touch me?
Do you want me to get shocked?
Well, I mean that's yeah. So the cool thing is that I get to feel it too, instead
Yeah.
of like having the attachment thing. So
Oh my word.
but like so if you make a really brief contact,
Yeah.
it's sharper than if you just like do the ET like phone home like actually to see you pulled away. So that's gonna make it stronger. So if you just if you just here, okay.
What am I supposed to do? 'Cause I could.
turned it down. This is what I did all night at Fantasy. Actually, this.
Can you hear that?
I don't know.
I can hear that.
Like if you're like really close to a mic.
Awesome.
Great. So, yeah. So that's one of my favorite things.
So you just like have the bit in your butt and then you zap
You
people?
can put it anywhere, so long as it's like just flush with your skin. Because then you just, as long as you're like grounded,
Yeah.
then it doesn't matter where you touch me. Like if you touched like just wherever you'd get a zap, and I would also get a zap. So
That's
yeah, like
magic.
if we touched like elbows. See, but if you like stay there, you almost did it. See, it's not so bad.
Yeah.
Right, but if you pull away.
Could you hear that? That was
Great.
awesome.
Yeah.
Magic zappy elbows.
Yeah, no, and it's, so I had this because I had a friend who was like, ow, back pain, and I was like, oh, buddy, I have this thing that can be helpful for that stuff because that's why I got this.
Yeah, I don't know if Shebop has something like this. They had like a wireless, cordless wand.
It goes
that,
on your
like,
hand, right?
It looked like a tennis racket handle
Yeah,
with
yeah.
like a point, and then it just comes to a point
It's like
and
a little
zaps.
taser.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah. Yeah, there's lots of stuff out there. I like this because it's a consistent output and I don't have to worry about battery power. Typically they're rechargeable or battery powered. And this just
Fair.
goes into a wall so I always know how strong it's going to be, which it goes back to that liking to have all the information thing, is that I like to know what I'm doing when I'm like working with muscles. So
Fair.
yeah.
So that's a fun thing.
Yeah, so I just
Everybody
thought
can
I'd throw that out.
Thank you for
It's
showing
the,
me that.
It's the blossom moon. It's like the,
Blossom moon.
yeah,
Full
I
moon.
think it's the blossom moon. Maybe I should Google this. I think I put my phone back because it wasn't a water bottle.
Yeah. Well, we'll Google it.
We'll
I'm
find out.
glad
You can just
for
make
you.
a little subtext thing. It is in fact the blossom moon, or Zed was so wrong.
Do you have a moon ritual you're going to do tonight?
I did mine last night.
Cool. Brilliant.
Yeah, I do I light a candle and I think about stuff. I was thinking about this yesterday when I was at the mausoleum, and it was, I was like, ugh, Memorial Day, ugh, patriotism, ugh, I hate everything. But do I? No, the one thing that I actually like is like the cycle of the moon, and it's the one thing that I paid attention to when I was a kid. So.
Yeah. It's come
Yeah.
up a lot today. I don't have moon cycles now. I used to specifically kind of chase the moon. I had a friend that I would chase the moon with
Yeah.
and like seek it out and then talk to it,
Mm-hmm.
figure out where it was.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. I remember that me, and there's ways that I'm connected to that version of me. But there was a more of a moon me,
Yeah.
and I think if like today I got a bunch of messages saying that I probably could reconnect to that.
Yeah, cool.
I'm gonna.
Great.
And see what delights come from that.
Yeah, I think it was technically like fullest at some point this morning, but it's still a full moon.
That is the rumor.
Yeah.
Well, I think we sort of did a thing. You showed a fun
Yeah.
electronic sex toy. We
I
talked
mean-
about many stuffs.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you feel complete, friend? In the camera?
We're
On
waiting.
the other side. Is there anything you need to know?
You feel free to ask. Well, it sounds like we're done because they're not asking, so yet. Maybe they're thinking about it.
Well, you could just get in touch with us later. I'm open to talk to you about anything. I'm certain you have questions, because we sort of went through some of these topics as though we understood what we were talking about, and they might have questions.
Yeah, that's fair. Maybe like a follow-up.
Perfect.
Like,
Like if people write us questions, you would like,
yeah, I would
we'll
like.
jump on a Zoom conference or something.
Sure, yeah, because I'll have time for that. I'll be back in 3 weeks.
That's perfect.
Yeah, and then there's time for like stuff to go out, whatever. Anyways,
Brilliant. Alrighty. Thanks for being here.
thanks for having me. I was like super excited.
Yeah.
Do we hug?
Oh, you wanna?
Yeah.
Will our microphones handle it? All of the hugging action. What?
Well, that's how that went. Thanks for joining us on this episode. Thanks for watching, listening, I don't know, reading, imbibing, however you took this in. Thanks for being here. And if you really enjoyed it, I'd love it if you would do all of the things. Like, share, I don't know, ring a bell, bang a gong, tell a friend, and come back next time. I hope you had as much fun as I had.